Welcome to the Radio Scilly Video Report. Subscribe at youtube.com/Radio Scilly to be alerted when we upload new video reports. The Video Report in association with Carnveen Tea Rooms.
There's a treat waiting for you on your walk around St Mary's. Spoil yourself at Carnveen Cafe with a break for morning coffee, lunch or afternoon tea, inside or in a large garden close to Pellistry Beach. Try our large selection of fresh cakes and delicious cream teas. We have a large range of sandwiches, toasted sandwiches and jacket potatoes, or pick up one of our proper Cornish steak pasties. Anne and Frank are waiting to welcome you every day from 10 until 5 at Carnveen Cafe and Tea Garden.
It seems that a rock from outer space may have hit our islands. Radio Scilly's received calls from a number of listeners who claim to have seen a strange object in the sky on Friday night. Falmouth Coast Guard confirmed calls from Brixham and Devon down to Penzance about the strange light show, which coincided with a meteor shower. We had a phone call on Saturday morning from a Miss Sizem who saw the crash from a home at Tolman Point. The object went in the water off Gull Rock.
I was in my bed reading and I suddenly saw a brilliant ball of light coming down from north to south, and it was close to my window. It was not sort of out in the Atlantic and, beyond Peninsula or anything. It was well inside Old Town Bay. It was close. And it wasn't a firework or anything. It was a single brilliant ball of light coming down sharply. And as I say, from the angle it was going, I didn't see it land because I was in my bed. And it passed my window at that point, but it must have landed somewhere between Tolman Point and Gull Rock, I would say.
Anna Cawthry from St Martin's was leaving the bistro at the hotel on the island with friends at around 11 o'clock on Friday, when she too saw a slowly moving object crash to the ground above St Mary's. George Tiedemann is a member of the Royal Astronomical Society and leads stargazing walks around St Mary's. He says he's never heard of a meteorite hitting the ground on the islands before, but it seems they possibly saw one.
It's quite interesting because I think this was on Friday evening, wasn't it? And around about, I suppose, 9:30, I was out with my binoculars just doing my routine sky watch as I do, and it was a beautiful night. And there was a fireball crossed over, heading towards, the sort of Old Town direction, heading towards the south. Now that fireball could well have been a meteorite. I think what your lady actually saw was a meteorite.
George says he's going to make the most of the clear skies because of the lack of vapour trails with aircraft grounded with the volcanic ash problems, to lead a guided tour around the islands to look at the stars you can see with our lack of light pollution here.
Also, I think in some ways you prompted me. We might, as you know, from time to time I do these sky at night walks. We did one for Walk Scilly, and we were quite lucky there. We did see quite a few stars. We've got clear skies at the moment. We've got no aircraft trails, no aircraft around.
And who knows, more people may be seeing more meteorites over the next few months. Report your findings to Radio Scilly. A St Mary's man is getting ready for a challenge of a lifetime. Merrin Smith of Porthcressa Road is running the London Marathon. He says he wants to help the bereavement charity SANS.
The charity I'm raising money for is called SANS, and it's not a charity I'd heard of until quite recently. It's the Stillborn and Neonatal Death Charity, and they look after families who lose very young babies or premature babies. And they've looked after a couple of families over here, and they do a remarkable job. They give support, they give time, financial support, they point them in the right direction. And as I say, it's a charity I'd not heard of before, so rather than going to one of the bigger charities like the Oxfam or RNLI or one of the cancer charities, I'll do something for one of the smaller ones.
Merrin only heard he was accepted to undertake the 26-mile run around the capital in October and has been training every day since.
The other thing is, when you set out to do something like this, it does kind of look like an impossibility. Once you set into a routine of it, it just comes naturally. I mean, this time last year I was 15 stone and could barely run anywhere, and it's very different now, so I think if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Merrin says he's hoping to finish the marathon in reasonable time.
When I signed up, I had no idea what I was going to do, and I put down 5 hours. Since when I started the training, I thought I'll give it a week, see how I'm doing, and then pick a time. And the aim has always been for 4.5 hours, which is 10-minute miles plus 10 minutes spare. And obviously you get off to a very slow start because you're in a big crowd of people and so on. So I reckon that's doable. I'm aiming for 4.5 hours.
Merrin says he's prepared for some of the challenges of the London Marathon and has a plan to stay motivated.
Is when you're doing the run, it's to name a mile after somebody, either a member of the family, somebody who's donated money, somebody who's supported you in your training, and that's what I've done. I've got a list of 26 people, and I'll have it on a wristband, so at each mile point I'll be able to think of them and what they've done for me over the time. And as to the wall itself, I'm hoping not to hit it. I mean, ultimately the wall comes with a lack of carbohydrates, so with a bit of preparation the days before, it shouldn't happen. I've done a 21-mile run here on the islands about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't suffer then. And you normally hit it between sort of the 18 and 20 mile mark, so I'm hoping to avoid it.
You can support Merrin by sponsoring him at justgiving.com/Merrin-Smith. That's justgiving.com/Merrin.Smith. Police on St Mary's have been out road testing a new speed gun designed to see how fast people are driving around the island. The police say the community has asked for a speed reduction. The current island-wide limit is 60 miles an hour. PC Matt Collier has been testing the kit and he says it's got a long range. How far away is the range on that?
What's the total range on this? 200 metres. 200 metres, there you are. Yeah.
So literally you can see people before they can see you?
Yeah.
Sergeant Charlie Craig says part of their role is just to remind people to drive carefully and slowly.
They were just testing the equipment and letting people see that we have got the equipment to undertake speed checks.
And he says nobody has broken the 60 mile an hour speed limit so far.
No, because it's certainly not the road conditions to do 60 miles an hour here. I think the maximum speed we've recorded so far in the last 10 minutes is 37 miles an hour.
A charity fundraiser for the St Mary's PTA for the bereavement charity SANS that works with parents who've sadly lost children is now entering its home stretch. Parents wanted to do something in memory of Rufus Wilde and decided to begin a slim on the 1st of March. They've reached their half point. 13 participants have collectively lost around 3 stone.
Well, in total, we haven't had everybody come and weigh yet today, but in total so far we've lost 41 pounds collectively.
It's quite good then.
Yeah, what's that? That's that's nearly 3 stone.
And how many of you are doing it again?
13.
Vicky Smith has been plotting the progress of the people taking part in the sponsored slim.
Colouring in a square per pound that we've raised so far, and that's mainly on the online Australian site. And I'm also colouring a square per pound per weight that we've lost.
Most of those taking part are getting £1 for every pound in weight they lose. There's only one man, the head teacher, Bryce Wilby, and he's doing quite well.
He's the only man taking part, and he's managed to lose £7 so far.
Vicky says they hope to raise some significant funds.
I knew I had lots of weight to lose. The idea was that we could be sponsors to lose the weight.